Every night. Hey, Mark.
Throwback, Jim.
Sounds good, Mark. All right, on set.
Much madness and action.
One of the fun things in Pirates is revisiting Jack Sparrow.
No wind. Of course there's no bloody wind.
When we find him, he is essentially in purgatory, which we've depicted in the Bonneville Salt Flats of Utah. There was something about the whiteout effect of the surface of the lake bed there and the salt and the endless horizon that spoke to us and to Gore of endless doldrums. If you can think of a worse place to put a ship and a captain of a ship than a completely dry and completely featureless landscape, that was the idea.
The crew has finally arrived in the place that, you know, we've all felt like we've been in this place for a long, long time, and now we're physically here. We're in Davy Jones Locker. This is hell, you know, and getting through hell is, you know, it's a Dante experience happening here. You know? We're making a journey, and this is a little pit stop.
Let's see one of these skips for a second. So we should shoot those, Derek. You want to insert those with the shadow. What's he doing?
He's throwing rocks.
Why?
Just like, this is like, he's warming up before we start directing movies. This is going to be Davy Jones Locker, which is hell in Pirates terms. So we're just trying to find a different look for it. So what I'm doing is I'm shooting 2 rolls of film, and one of them we're gonna skip bleach, which means this is special processing that increases the contrast of the film. And then we make a decision that we're gonna either skip bleach the whole scene, or we're gonna try to imitate this look with digital manipulation. So, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna do simple like this. So, backlit, expose for shadow, which means everything else will go, and then stop under, 2 stops under, 3 stop under. And then I'm gonna go
up.
wide one and wide one, which is like backlit, side lit, front.
So you want the good news or the bad news?
I'm still waiting for the good news. Preferably. Why
It
change?
rained in Wendover, and it is now a lake right now.
A very
It's
shallow
4-inch
lake across the salt flats.
So
The entire salt flats are
Well, we don't
where we want to shoot is underwater right now.
Yeah.
I believe it was 2 days before we found out it started raining. And when it rains there, it just is puddles. And sometimes it actually becomes just a gigantic reflecting pool. And because of that, we panicked because we wanted, of course, the dry element of a desert, not the wet salt look and the puddles, especially puddles. We didn't want puddles.
How long does it take to dry out? Is it
It
gonna be
dried out last time, like in a day.
But
because
you,
they had
but
a
you
big
need the
windstorm.
wind.
They had a big
You
windstorm.
need either really hot or a windstorm.
So we're praying for a windstorm?
We
Is that
are
what you're
praying
saying?
for a windstorm.
Windstorm or 120 degrees.
It looks salty.
Nice. Yeah, nice.
In the salt flats, the water doesn't drain very quickly there. It becomes a lake very fast. As the company was traveling, we had a day of sun that helped with the evaporation, but on the first day, the first afternoon of filming, we still had various little lakes around the set.
Where's everybody? Getting better. Take me to the dry spot. Let's shoot. Where's the camera? Let's go.
Okay.
Action!
Good find a dry spot. What's everybody doing here?
Everyone's ready to
Come on over.
Getting ready for round 3 on the salt flat.
Make sure you're hydrated all day long. Wear sunscreen constantly. Wear hats, sunglasses, and underwear, apparently.
It's very hot. It's not the most comfortable place to work out, but on film, it's going to look great. It's exactly what Gore wanted.
You gotta go here. Right. And guys, We should just make it much denser here, right?
We're trying to reintroduce rocks to this desert. As you can see, there's hardly any left. You know, like in the Pacific Northwest, you're getting the grizzly back, we're bringing the rocks back.
Yes, this is my friend. Directing is a lonely job.
Okay, and rolling.
Rolling.
Speed.
Take your own action.
So I think we are fairly successful with the reintroduction of the rocks into the salt lakes here. Overnight they're gonna start moving. We have some transmitters on them so we can follow their tracks.
He's gonna be doing all right. He's got friends.
Having the full-size black pearl set beached in the desert hut is a big, expensive thing that we wanted to avoid, so we're using visual effects to accomplish that. Yesterday we shot a scene where Johnny is tugging on the black pearl in his sun-addled madness, tries to drag the black pearl, but of course it goes nowhere, and he gives up, collapses on the sand.
Distance. Aha. There you go.
And wakes up a moment later when he feels shadows passing over his face.
Be camera mark. 565 Alfa Romeo 2.
The shadow that was cast was created by this small section of the black pearl that the art department built. And it was being pulled along by a truck, so the shadows that were cast were all done practically. Now, if you look at it, it's the right shape, but it's very sort of crudely constructed, so it casts shadows that are about the right shape. And then we'll be adding in the miniature black pearl to the shots so that it looks like it's really present in the location.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Stay with chicken. Fantastic. You're good. Got it? It's not easy to try. I think it's funny. Plenty of stuff. Very good lean. Yeah. Okay. That was a very steep lean. Corona. Corona time.
Got that.
All right. Excellent. Check it.
Check it again on
Nicely done.
All done for the day on the beautiful salt flats of Bonneville. Another location down.
Yeah, unfortunately, we couldn't move that plane up any earlier, so the plan right now is lunch, wrap, head to the hotel, and then we'll start sending buses.